derivatives thing work. All right, so now you got Maxi that's loaded up with HEX, and the minting phase is over, right? So now you have the option of choosing between Maxi and HEX. But what's the optionality there really? Well, if you buy Maxi, you're buying into the math behind that code, right? And that math is being extracted in real time. So that value is being extracted in real time because people are overpaying. Even though they don't know it, they are. Right. And if you look at maximalist.cash and you look at the dashboard, it tells you right there how much you're overpaying. It's like over 80%. That's how
They're
much.
overpaying for Maxi?
Yes. By over 80%.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, well, do you sell your Maxi? And I mean, the obvious answer is no, because there's a 15-year term on the math. But now there's a reason for HEX to go up in value because Maxi is so overvalued. In a real world situation, because crypto is not the real world, right? And that's something that people can't comprehend.
Yeah.
Because if it was, you wouldn't have to promote HEX. It would just be number one because it is number one. So the space within which we operate is not actual reality. Because what happens is you have marketers promoting the space, not actual crypto people. This is what what do they call them? These coin ranking sites are, right? They're marketing sites. They're not crypto sites. I've literally had to point this out to people that do our accounting on some of the projects that we work on because they need to understand that when they're using using data to price anything, it needs to be the correct data, not the incorrect data. So what that means is if they're using something from a place that is not professing to give you accurate information, they're liable, right? You can sue them in court for penalties and for equity, basically. It's the legal term for getting your money back for the missed gains and all this other stuff. And guess what? They just pay because they know that that's what's coming. So nobody wants to put themselves in a hole just for being dumb, right? They stop using the incorrect information. And this is how you get around these gatekeepers. You make them irrelevant. Because in the real world, guess what? You got, now that we're bridging HEX into reality, can't be ignored. If HEX was all the crap that they say it is, you wouldn't have none of these things standing on it. And there's plenty of things being built on it. So pretty obvious that it's a legit thing. And all we got to keep doing is bridging those gaps because people have it confused. They think that the crypto space actually matters and it doesn't, right? So that's kind of the bad spot that we're at right now, right? Because the market does not respect the math. So what happens is you got to bring people to the market that do. And that changes everything. Because how is HEX 84% undervalued or more versus Maxi? That literally makes no sense. Nobody's looking at that. Nobody's talking about that. So where do you think the trade is, Matt?
So Maxi is overvalued.
Yes, by 80+%.
And I'm just thinking, so the play with so that's bullish for it's what you're saying, it's bullish for X.
Correct. Because why would you continue to overpay for something you don't need to overpay for? Makes no sense. So you buy HEX. You're welcome. Because what do you think? What do you think? What do you think those other guys are going to do? Because what's the point? The point here is you're buying. If you got HEX and it's not staked, well, one, that's a mistake. But if you want to keep it liquid, that's on you, right? But either way, it's undervalued. So that's just the math talking. Because Maxi can't be 84% overvalued and HEX be 80% undervalued. So the market has to adjust in some way. Now, clearly, the math is saying that the liquid hex is just liquid, right? It's not accruing any yield, but you can stake it at any point in time.
So
the optionality is there to earn that yield as well.
do you think the reason MAXI is not being sold down as much as HEX is because there's so much more HEX holders, HEX, people with liquid HEX that can sell it and have incentive to, or otherwise?
Well, you got to realize you got a lot of people in this market that have been around. They got stakes ending that have 1,000Xs in them, right? Like they're not losing any sleep over dumping millions of hex when it's six figures, and they got millions of hex left.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Maybe that's why MAXI is
So
one of the reasons maybe it's so overvalued is because
Mhm.
HEX is so much easier and so many more holders, so many more people who can sell it down as
Yeah,
we've seen.
that's a fair assessment.